Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about some random lore information, most of which comes from flavor text, cosmetics, arcus entries, and add-ons. Stuff you possibly haven't read or heard of before. I hope you enjoy. Kazan Yamaoka, or the Oni, had a son named Akito. Akito broke his leg after falling from a tree, requiring him to use a crutch. Adam Francis's students wanted to attend a concert, so Adam took them to see The Trickster in Seoul. Dwight Fairfield was once a pizza delivery boy, and he worked for a company named Pizza Watt. One summer, Meg attended the Golden Eagles summer camp, working as an athletic counselor. Claudette spent some of her time at a cabin, where she studied the growth cycles of extinct mushrooms. Jake's favorite way to unwind is to build a shelter from scratch. Nia had a pet rat named Milo. Dwight once had a job as an elf. He had to wear fake elf ears, which he hated. When Ace was short on money, he fished, hoping for something big, in order to pay off the debt collectors after him. Another time, he got a job at a fancy hotel, serving the wealthy. David once broke a man's orbital bone to collect a debt of £500. It's heavily implied that when Dwight went skydiving, someone intentionally sabotaged his parachute. One time, David was approached on the beach and asked to be in a menswear photoshoot. The blighted serum supposedly has the ability to resurrect the dead. After the blight injected a rat with some serum, it came back to life for a brief moment. Kate once performed her music in Japan alongside an iconic all-girl band. Jeff is mentioned to have Norwegian roots. For the new year, Claudette was invited to attend an exclusive winter gala at Montreal Metropolitan Science Center. Jane launched her own clothing line to support a positive body image brand. When promoting this, she made sure her photoshoots were authentic, with no retouching. As a child, Kate would climb the frozen waterfalls at Yellowstone National Park. Yui was so fascinated by taiko drumming that she took it up herself, performing at various festivals. The Observer sees Elodie through the Oris, over a year prior to her arriving in the realm. Zarina once investigated illegal gambling at a club in Brooklyn. At a concert, Jeff once saved someone from being trampled by the crowd. It resulted in back pain and some severe injuries that never fully healed. Feng was not only an esports player but a live streamer. She streamed and enjoyed MMORPGs. The Full Fire Moon concert was one of the last events where the Tricksters band No Spin performed as a group, before most of its members were killed in a studio fire. As a teenager, Evan McMillan would go into his father's mines and set makeshift traps he had made to catch unsuspecting Macmillan Estate employees off guard. After spending years locked in his dark room, the hillbilly, after escaping, gets too close to some fireworks on New Year's Eve, enticed by the light they create, and they end up scorching his body. The nurse's husband, Andrew, was killed in a logging accident after a tree was cut and his head was caved in by it falling. Feng Min really liked the Matrix movies. It suggested that Hag's drinking of blood is to stop her body from petrifying. Whilst in the realm, the entity provided the Doctor with 100 people to experiment on, all trapped on a submarine. Some of the soldiers that passed through the Red Forest carried flamethrowers. One time the Huntress charged through them, becoming severely burnt in the process. It's suggested in one of Spirit's cosmetics that there used to be a number of great survivors in the realm who originated from ancient Greece. Neither Susie or Joey of the Legion have last names, despite Frank and Julie both having them. Morrison and Kostenko. The Doctor once attempted to use electricity to transfer information from his own brain to another person's. During the Lunar New Year, Susie of the Legion stabbed a man in the back twice, leaving him for dead in an alley. If this man died, this is the only other confirmed kill of the Legion, aside the store clerk they all killed together in their base lore. One of the plague sensors is filled with tree resin and animal excrement, in order to cause a heaving, uncontrollable regurgitation. Kazan Yamaoka was so overwhelmed by attackers moments before his death that his Kanabo shattered. Kanabos are known for being incredibly difficult to shatter. After the Deathslinger became frustrated at a bounty who had escaped twice, he twisted thorn branches into his spears to cause extra damage next time he caught sight of him. One day, the Observer is attacked by squid-like creatures that rain down from above, breaking his tower and destroying his study. The Deathslinger's gang was named the Hellshire Riders, and they were made up of Irish inmates from Hellshire Penitentiary. The Wraith ventured through mangrove swamps, scavenging crash vehicles and flaying the frogs for their incessant croaking. During an especially cold winter in Marseille, Charlotte killed a pig and used the warmth of its insides in order to survive. The Tricksters' debut album as a solo act was named Edge of Revival and was received with mixed reactions. Frank of the Legion once stole an old boat docked on an Albertan lake. Kazan Yamaoka once tore a man's lion tattoo from his skin, deciding he was unworthy of such a noble symbol. Claudette's favourite flower is the ghost orchid. a rare flower that grows in Cuba and Florida. Elodie once attended a high-end gala in order to try and locate a stolen artifact. Before Jake Park was taken by the entity, his compass began to move strangely, as if it were leading him toward the fog that would later take him. One of the Deathslinger's targets, a bank robber, escaped on a whaling ship. 5 years passed and Caleb saw him once more, at a harbour up north. There are canonically mortals who can understand the entity's language. There have been multiple observers prior to the current one. Their ramblings and journals remain in the observer's tower. The entity canonically has a birthday, and the observer receives an invitation to its party. Meg fostered a 6-year-old cat named Mocha. Mocha was undergoing medical treatment and loved treats. In alternate universes, there are survivors living together in a city in the ordinary world, out of the realm. Dwight Fairfield likes pineapple on pizza, and so do I. Alright, well that's gonna do it. I do hope you enjoyed. Thanks, and goodbye.